What's up, everyone, and welcome back to the Stocks with Mike and Tom show. The market had another explosive day today. We have some huge news with Uber and taxis in New York, and some giant news with Nvidia and Intel. Nvidia was up almost 10% today, and Intel was up around 7%, which is giant for a company like Intel. So we have a great video today, guys. Make sure to stick with us. Even Apple is booming. Microsoft is rocketing up too. So we have a good video. And Tom, let's get right into it.
Yeah, Mike, the market did very well. Like you said, a lot of tech stocks ripped up today, whether it was Apple or Microsoft or whatever you look at in the market. If it was named tech today, it went up. Some of the big ones today were even Logitech. I saw they were actually really flying up today as well, Mike. Looks like Logitech was up 7.6%, but we have some pretty big news today with Nvidia and Intel. I know yesterday Nvidia's CEO had actually some statements come out where he talked about Intel and said that he was pretty pleasantly surprised to see how Intel had been performing, to say the least. And then also they were considering Intel to make some chips for them. So that's really helped Intel the past couple days. But Nvidia itself, Mike, is really ripping up 9.8%. There's an awesome article by CNBC where we can pretty much see how they talk about all the different aspects here. And if we scroll down, there's some really cool stuff with Intel, Mike. Apparently, they've been building a lot of different factories in the US, and they're going to also be building a $36 billion new mega factory in Germany to help them get more integrated in Europe as well, after they just spent $20 billion on a factory in Ohio. So this is pretty big. I know that they also spoke to Congress about trying to boost American national security by pretty much making more chips in the United States. So this is great news for both Intel and Nvidia, and it's really cool to see that they might work together in the future.
Yeah, that's awesome, Tom. You know, Nvidia, of course, has been doing very well over the past couple of years, and, you know, it's just been growing a lot, right? It has a lot more hype behind it compared to Intel, but Intel, it's more of like a powerhouse type stock, you can say, in the sense that, yes, it won't blast up like Nvidia will, but historically, it's been a lot safer and it's been much more consistent. But just like you said, Tom, it seems like a giant win for both companies, and both the stocks are blasting up.
Yeah, they really are. And, you know, I didn't want to forget AMD, though, because they did also have a pretty great day today, up 5.8%. While the other ones have the great news, AMD doesn't have anything spectacular coming out, but it is moving up in sympathy, which is great, along with Qualcomm and Micron. So like I said, all the tech stocks today did pretty well. We even started to see Facebook start to pop up, along with stocks like Oracle and other stocks like that. So it's great to see these tech stocks starting to rip. And Mike, just overall, even the QQQ today had a great day, flying up throughout the day, up 2.22%. We haven't seen nice upwards momentum like this in a long time. And looking at the daily chart here, some of these indices are starting to really overextend and starting to break out here. I wonder if we'll start to see some consolidation sooner or later. But in the end, I mean, there's a lot of momentum right now.
Yeah, and part of the reason for that is we just have a lot of these big names running up, like even Apple. I think Apple had its 8th green day in a row today, and it has a lot of momentum. So what's going on with this one?
Yeah, they announced a new subscription service today for their iPhone. So pretty much what they're doing is they're coming out with a subscription service by the end of this year that's going to allow people to buy an iPhone similar to how you would subscribe to the iCloud every month. So you'll be able to make like a monthly payment on your iPhone, and then obviously be able to get it and then make payments on it. Now, I do know companies like T-Mobile and AT&T and other companies like that already offer this, but it's cool that Apple's going to be doing this in-house with their iPhone. I think that will help them a little bit. And obviously, they're just trying to gain as much revenue as they can. So this will definitely help people get it from them if they don't want to go through some other type of company to finance it.
Interesting. So looking at Apple stock, it's blasting up. And to me, it definitely looks overbought in the short term. You know, Apple's a multi-trillion-dollar company. And like I said, they had like 8 green days in a row. And I just feel like it's going to pull back soon. Does that mean it's going to be red tomorrow? No, it doesn't mean that. But I don't think it's worth the risk at this level, playing it to the upside. I love Apple for the long term. It's a great company. The stock has been doing very well over the past couple of years, and it probably will continue to do well in the future. But looking at it short term, I'm trying to be objective here, Tom, and I feel like it's not worth the risk playing to the upside at this point.
Yeah, I don't either. This just has to slow down eventually. I was honestly looking for a bit of a pullback today, but it didn't happen, and we just kept breaking out. And that might happen. We might have maybe one or two more green days before these red days finally come sprinkling in, but eventually we will see a bit of a pullback here. This has been a pretty nice uptrend, Mike, though, to say the least, and we're getting a lot of momentum, which is nice, but we are heading up towards this 176 to 177 resistance. This is going to be pretty big, guys. I know that Apple has had a lot of bounces around this area, as we can see on the 1 hour chart here. So definitely be careful as we're rising. But Mike, I mean, Apple's just continuing to show us that it's a powerhouse, and it just keeps ripping up day by day here. So it might make for some nice day trades, but in the end, like you said, it's just not worth the risk.
Yeah, it's very rare to see a multi-trillion-dollar company pop 17% in a couple trading days. Like, it's just rare and not worth the risk for me. But if you guys disagree with me, let me know in the comments down below. I'm very curious to hear your point of view. But then, Tom, let's shift over into Uber. Uber stock had a lot of news today, and the stock's up 5%. So what's going on here?
Yeah, the news came out in pre-market that they're going to be allowing New York taxi drivers on their app, and that's going to be pretty big actually for Uber. I know it's going to also help taxi drivers, which is big. I know the taxi business in New York has been kind of going downhill, and it's going to be nice that Uber is allowing them to integrate their software, and then they'll be able to kind of, take different rides and stuff like that. So in the end, though, this is obviously nice for Uber, Mike. We're up 4.9%. We ran all the way up to 35.55 in pre-market trading, and Uber seems like it has a lot of renewed momentum down here. If we look at the 1 year daily chart, it's starting to kind of blast up like a lot of these growth stocks are.
Good stuff. Yeah, it definitely has a lot of momentum, and it has a lot of good volume flowing in too. So I could see Uber had resistance right around like $35.55 this morning. Are you watching any other important levels with this one to the upside or the downside?
Yeah, to the upside, Uber actually had a pretty big resistance up here, right around 36.50, Mike. There's been a ton of bounces right around there, so I'm going to be careful of that. If we do break above 35.55, like you mentioned, I think that's going to be the main level to look at those, like 35.50. But if we do see some nice explosive movement tomorrow, we might see a nice breakout up towards 36 or 37, like I mentioned. So definitely be on the radar with this one. I'm also still watching Lyft, Mike. I know they're kind of competitors, but Lyft also moved up today. Not quite as explosive, but it closed up pretty high.
All right, good stuff. So I just want to give a giant shout out to our member of the day, which is Alex Trader in the Discord. Huge shout out, Alex. Thank you so much for being an awesome member of the community. Tom and I really appreciate you. And then guys, if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. We post brand new videos every single day, and we're trying really hard to get to 50K subs. So keep that in mind. Tom, do you have any other stocks you're looking at? Any specific setups? Anything like that?
Yeah, the airline sector was on fire today, Mike. As we can see, Delta ran up, American ran up. We even had Boeing move to the upside after they had some terrible news of a plane crash earlier in the week. So it's interesting to see these airlines running, but in the end, American ran up in a big way along with Southwest. And there was actually some pretty good news that came out with this one, Mike. So looking at the article here, Southwest is launching a new second cheapest fare, which is interesting. It's going to be called Wanna Getaway Plus. They currently already have something called Wanna Getaway, which is the cheapest one. Now they're going to add one more above that. It's going to be just under the Anytime fare. So it's interesting to see them doing this. Pretty much they said in the article, they're doing this just to try to gain a little bit more revenue here. So hey, I'll take it, Mike. And the airline's up 2.45%. So hopefully we see a nice uptrend with these ones soon.
There we go. All right, good stuff there. And Tom, let's get right into these momentum plays for tomorrow. With the first one, we have LOGI.
Yeah, Logitech ripped up all day, even right there at the end of the day. Make them break 77.50, and if they break that in pre-market, then make them break 78.
All right, and with the next one, we have INTC.
Good old Intel. Go ahead and make them break out above 51.70 tomorrow.
Good old Intel, he said. Let's go. It had a great day today.
But yeah, it really did.
With the next one, we have DAL.
Delta, yeah, this one is almost double topping with its level from back on Tuesday. So go ahead and make Delta break out above 37.30.
Awesome. So we are watching DAL, INTC, and LOGI for potential day trades to the upside tomorrow, only if they break above the levels Tom listed. But while we're on the topic of DAL, Tom, let's showcase that bot play from today. If you trade options, definitely pay attention to this. So our bot today called out the DAL $36.50 calls at $53 each. Later in the day, these same calls went to $89 each, which was an awesome pop of around 68% in only a couple hours. So if you trade options, definitely take a look at that first link in the description and the comments down below. You get daily options day trade plays just from the bot, just like this. We also offer swing trades every single day, access to great tools you won't find anywhere else, custom bots, a great community. You can cancel at any time. We have a coupon running now, and you can chat with Tom and myself basically all day long. So if you trade options, it's a great program, and it's definitely worth trying out. And in the worst case scenario, if you don't like it, just cancel. You can cancel at any time. But with that being said, Tom, there's a lot of good momentum in the markets. A lot of stocks are blasting up. Especially tech stocks and especially these chip stocks. So be prepared for some more volatility.
Yeah, definitely. This is going to be crazy for tomorrow. A lot of these chip stocks close up around their highs as well. So we might even see some nice continuations. It's going to be risky. Like we said with Apple, these stocks have been running up a lot over the past couple of weeks. So always keep that in mind. But hey, it might make for some pretty good day trades. I'm definitely happy to see some of these beaten down plays like Facebook starting to really break out. I like the setup with this one for tomorrow. If we can break maybe above 220, looks like it's setting up pretty well. So I'm glad to see all these stocks coming back, Mike. And we haven't seen momentum like this in a long, long time. And like you said, we're almost at the point of seeing like 8 green days out of some of these stocks. Even the SPY has had a lot of green days. So looking pretty good here. Hopefully this continues into tomorrow, but I know sometimes Fridays can get pretty crazy, Mike. So we'll have to see what happens.
True that. There we go. So like I said, if you guys trade options, definitely check out that first link in the description and the comments down below. It's an amazing program, especially if you trade options. And like I said, worst case scenario, just cancel. Besides that, thank you guys so much for watching.